Hello everyone, welcome back to another exciting tutorial. I am Zulu. In this tutorial, we're going to learn to create a fully functional shoe e-commerce website using React. This tutorial will walk you through every step by step, from setting up React to creating product pages and building a shopping cart to adding filters and handling states with hook. By the end of this tutorial, you will learn to build a sleek shoe store ready to launch. So let's get started. First, I'm going to walk you through what we're going to be building exactly. So we have the navigation bar. This is the navigation bar. We have our logo here. We have the home page, the about page, and the contact page. This is a separate page on its own. This is the about page. This is a very, very simple about page. This is the contact page as well. We have this here, and we have an image here. We have two icons on the right hand side that is showing how to cart. So this is our cart page. So if you click on the home, we're back to our home page, right? So in our home page, we have our hero section. In the hero section, we have the top and the bottom. For the top section, we have two sides. We have the left side with this text right here and the button to shop now. And then we have an image here showing this sleek shoe. So at the bottom level, we have this right here for free shipping, 247 support, and secure payment. And then we have the product page. We have the product section itself. So this is basically the product. So the product section is displaying list of products with the product images, the title of the product, and the price of the product. Then if you hover on any of the products, you're going to see two icons. So each of the icons depicts something. So the first icon is showing that you can add to cart, and the second icon is showing that you can view the product detail. Okay, so if I click on add to cart, if you check this cart now, this cart icon, you can see that it has increased by 1. Let me reload it so that you can understand what I'm trying to say. Now we're back here. By the way, the navigation bar is a fixed navigation bar. So if you scroll down, the navigation bar remains the same, and the color of the navigation bar changes when you scroll. So this is it. Now, if you add an item to cart, right now our cart is showing that we have 0 quantity in the cart. So if you add an item to cart, you can see this item has been added to the cart. Okay. If I go back, if I add another item to the cart, it has reflected here that we have 2 items in our cart. If I click on this, we have 3 items in our cart. If I click on this, we have 4 items, 5 items, 6 items, and so on. So, and then also in our own page, we have our footer. Actually, the footer is on the home page. Both footer and navbar are on every other pages, not just the home page. They are present in the home page, the product details, cart page, the about page. So if I click on about page, our footer is right here. If I click on contact as well, we have our footer here as well. Okay. Now back to the cart. In the cart, this is what we have. I have added 6 items to the cart. It's showing here that we have 6 items. So for the cart, this is an icon that we can use to clear our entire cart. Okay, so in the cart items, we have the item image, we have the title of the item, we have an icon here to remove this item from the cart, and we have this quantity as well. You can choose to increase or decrease the quantity of the item. So if I increase this, it's going to reflect in the total and also in the number of items that we have. Okay, if I decrease it back, this is going to turn to 6, right? And it's going to reflect here as well. This is the fixed price, this is the total price. So we're getting the total price based on the price times the quantity. So if this gets increased to 3, if I want to get this in 3, the price is 130. So if you multiply 130 by 3, you're going to have 390. Okay, 390 plus 130, 130, 130. We have our total cost here to be 1040, right? So this is what we have in our cart. So if I click on this icon right now, it is going to delete the entire cart, right? It's showing here that our cart is empty. So let me go back to the home page. You can click this home, go back to the home page. Now let me add more items to the cart. 5, 6, 7. We have 7 items in our carts, right? So apart from increasing and decreasing, we can choose to remove an item from the cart. So I remove the item, and now we have just 6 items. If I click on this, we have 5 items. Okay, so that is how this works. Now for the right hand side, we have the cart summary, which is showing the number of items, it's showing the subtotal, and the shipping here for this project, shipping is free. So that is why we have shipping as free. And then our total cost is 650. So basically that is what we're going to learn to build. Also, you're also going to learn to read detail. So if you click on this eye icon, you're going to get the detail of the product. So this is a very simple and basic detail. We have the left hand side and the right hand side. So the left hand side is displaying the image of the product, and the right hand side has the title of the product, the price, this text here. I will have a button here to add to cart. So you can add this item to cart in the product details page. So if I click on add to cart, it is going to reflect here. Okay, so this is what we're going to build now. It is a very, very simple and very basic website. So if you're looking to build a very simple e-commerce website, maybe for your business or your clients, this tutorial is for you. So guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. So you're going to open your VS Code now. I'm on my VS Code already. You navigate to terminal, click on new terminal, and then change directory to your desktop. I have a folder for YouTube project. This is like the folders where I create all my YouTube projects. So I want to create this shoe e-commerce website in that folder. So I need to change directory to the folder YouTube project. And then I'm going to run this command to create the app. Make sure you're connected to the internet when you run this command. So you're going to change directory as well. After creating this, you're just going to follow, and then you're going to run this code npm install. Alright, so after successful installation, you're going to head back to file, open your folder, and then in your desktop, you're going to look for where you created the app. So I created mine in YouTube project, and the name of the website is Shoe E-commerce. So e-commerce web. I'm just going to select it and open it. So this is open. I'm just going to close this. The next thing we need to do is clean up. First off, I don't need this app.css, so I'm going to delete this. And then my app.css as well. I'm going to clean it up. Control A, delete. I'll use REFCE to create a functional reactor. This is a shortcut to create a functional reactor. To use this, you need to have this installed. Okay, sorry, let me show you. You need to have this extension. ES7 React Reduce React Native. If you have this extension, you can use different shortcuts in React. So I'm going to close this extension back and head back. So we've used IST here. For my index of CSS, I'm going to delete this as well. Then for my entire document, I'm setting the margin to 0. I'm going to set the padding as well to 0. Alright, so we're going to come back to this very soon. And here for my index, here I need to change the title of the project. So it says Nika Shoes. That is the name of the website. Nika Shoes. So let's see if our website is working. Open your terminal, click on new terminal. So you're going to run this command npm run dev. What we want to do now is to take a look at our website on our local host. So you're going to use npm run dev to do that. Okay, so right now it's showing that port 5173 is used. Try using another one. That is because we have this open already. So this port is open. So we need to open another port. Basically, just follow the link. So when you follow the link, click on the link. You're going to, this is it. I changed the title of the website earlier to Nika Shoes. So this is the website here, and our app is working. So I'm going to minimize this a bit. So let us see. If we change this to hello world, don't forget to subscribe. And see how we have it here. Hello world, don't forget to subscribe, right? Before we start working, we need to check for things that we need to install. First of all, we have icons here. We have icons right here. That means we need to install React icon. So open a new tab, enter React icon. We're going to be installing an npm package. So here as well, if I click on this product, you can see the detail of the product. This is routing. You're routing from one page to another. So that means we need to install React Router as well. React Router done. So here, click on React icon. I'm going to close this tab. Here as well, click on React Router DOM. So if you click on this is the website you're going to see. Just copy this code, head back to your terminal, open it a little bit. You can just open another one and then paste the code and enter. Make sure you're connected to the internet. So for React Router DOM as well, we're going to copy it as well. Open another one so that it will be faster, and then paste the code. Okay, so this is installing, this is also installing. I'm just going to minimize this so that we can get back to our business. I'm going to change this back to app. But guys, don't forget to subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe. So let's get to work. First off, in our SRC folder, we're going to create a folder for components. And then in our SRC folder as well, we're going to create another folder for pages. So in our pages, we're going to have the home page folder. In the pages, we're going to have the about page. In the pages, we're going to have product detail. On the pages, we're going to have our contact page. So we have our about contact home page and product details page. And then in the components, we're going to have the navbar components. The components, we're going to have the hero components. We're going to have the product details, product components. The components as well, we're going to have our footer. The components, we're going to have our cart components. And finally, we're going to have our shop context component. Okay, so for every of these components and every of these pages, excluding shop context, we're going to have GSX and CSS file for every of them. But for shop context, we're only going to have shop context.gsx. Okay, and also home page.gsx. So here I'm going to have parts.gsx and then parts.css. Okay, for footer as well, I'm going to have here in footer, I'm going to have footer.gsx and then footer.css. Okay, so I'm just going to pause this video to create the GSX and CSS file for each of them. Now I'm done creating the GSX file and CSS file for each of them, excluding the shop context and the home page, which is just going to have GSX file. So I'm going to start with navbar. So I use the shortcut IRC, press enter, and then I'm going to create right here. So here I'm going to select this and delete it. So I'm going to create a div tag with a class name of navbar. So in the div tag, I'm going to have another div tag with a class name of logo, which is going to take our logo. I'm going to have another div tag with a class name of link, and then we're going to have another div tag with a class name of nav icon wrapper. So this is going to take our icons. So for the first div tag, I'll use an H2 element. The name of the website is Maker Shoes. So we're using the name of the website as the logo. And for the links, I'm creating a list with 3 list items. The first link is going to take home. The second link is going to take about. The third link is going to take contact. And now for the nav icon, we're going to have a div tag for the cat icon, nav cat, and also, so in our navigation, in the cat now, we're going to use the cat icon. So because I've installed React icon, React is going to suggest a list of icons that has cat in it. So I'm going to be using this icon. Can you see this has already been imported? So I'm going to give this a class name of nav icon. Then I'll close this. And then on the icon as well, we have a paragraph tag with a class name of nav cat amount. So this is going to display the quantity of item we have in our cart. So I'm going to set this with 0. After the cart navigation, the cart icon, we're also going to have the user icon. So I'm going to enter user, and React is just going to select list of icons with user. So I can choose my choice. So I'm going to be using the first one, and I'm going to give it the same class name with the cart class name. So we're going to close this. Let me reduce this a bit more. So we're going to close this and we have our navigation right here. Now we have our app.gsx. So in the app, I'm going to mount our navigation bar. So this is the navigation bar in the cards. So I'm going to check our local host now to see what we have. Now right here, this is what we have now. We have the logo, we have the links and the icon. So we need to style it for it to look exactly like this. So I'm heading back to my navbar. Before styling, I'm going to import my CSS file into my JSX file, navbar.css. So open my navbar, open this as well. So I'm going to start with navbar. I'm going to copy this and paste it in the navigation bar. So the padding here, or common, the padding is going to take 30 pixels. Padding inline is going to take 80 pixels. Display will be flex. Justify content, space between. Right, what else do we have? We have for the link. And so for the list, display is going to be flex. Gap is going to take 20 pixels. Dot navbar for the link and each of the list item. List style is going to take none. The font size should take 18 pixels. The font weight is going to take 600. And text transform, I want to transform the entire text to uppercase. Next thing we need to style is the nav icon wrapper. So for the nav icon wrapper, display is going to be flex. Oh, sorry, display flex. And then we have to style the nav cards, which is what is storing the cat icon and the quantity amount. The quantity, sorry, I said quantity amount. So for the nav cards, display is also going to be flex. Position is going to be relative, and then cursor is going to be pointer. Cursor pointer should be here. So for both icon, cursor is going to be pointer. Now we need to style this nav card amount itself. So for this background color is going to take this color code. Position here is going to be absolute. Right is going to take right. It's going to take minus 8 pixels. Font size is going to take 12 pixels. Height is going to take 20 pixels. The width is also going to take 20 pixels. The text color is going to be white. The border radius, I want it rounded, so it's going to take 50%. And then display is going to be flex. Justify content center. Align the item at the center. Okay. Now what else? We need to style the icons. Each of the icons, we need to style them. So for the nav icon, the font size of each of those icons, both the cards and the user icon, is going to take 34 pixels. And then the margin left is going to take 35 pixels. Alright. Now this is what we want. This is exactly like what we're trying to build. Okay. So what is the next thing? The next thing we need to work on is our heroes section. So I'm going to close the nav.jsx and CSS and close the nav folder itself. Now in the hero section, I'm going to use REFC to create the functional React app. Right. So let's take a look at this area again. So for this area, we need this image on the right hand side, right? And then what else? I think that is all. So we need to get the image. This is the image that we're going to be using for all the products and all of that. So I'm just going to copy every single one of them, and then I'm going to paste it in my assets folder. Okay, now, so I'm going to delete this. I'm going to create a div tag with the class name of hero. I said earlier here that for this hero section we have the top and the bottom. So I'm going to create that. So we're going to have hero top, and then another div tag for hero bottom. Now we're going to start with the top. At the top, we have the left and the right side. So hero left, and then we have hero right. Now, on the left hand side, we're using an H2 tab that is going to take this text, and then we have another H1 tab that is also going to take this text, and then we have a call to action button that will be informing the user to shop now. Alright, now for the right hand side, that is where we have the image. Okay, so I'm here to import the image. We're going to be using the second image for our image. This is the image that we're going to use. So I'm just going to come in, I'm going to import, I'm going to give it zero image from asset folder. This is our asset folder, and the name of the image is sneakers2.jpg, right? So this is the name that we're using in our web. So I'm going to delete this, add the curly braces, and then I'm going to put this right here. So let me close our sneakers. So our asset, so this is the top, and we're here to work on the bottom. Well, let's see. So let me show you. There's something else I want to see. I said earlier that this is our home page. Everything right here is the home page. So in our home page, we have our hero section and we have our products, right? For other pages, like about, we don't have any hero section, we don't have any product. For contact, the same thing. But if we go back to our home page, we have the hero section and we have the product. So that means that our navigation bar is fixed and our footer is also fixed. So our footer and navigation bar is not in our own page. It's not fixed in our own page. So we're not going to mount it in the home page, but we're going to mount our hero and the product in the home page. So I'm going to head to home page, open this, use REFC, and then in the home page right here, I am going to mount our hero section. Okay. So if we try and view this now, we're not seeing the hero section in the home page. Okay. So to do that, we're going to go to app.gsx. We're going to provide routing system. Okay, so here we're going to use routes from React Router. So let me import routes and route. This is going to be from React Router blog. And then here I'm going to create my first route. Let me close this. So the path that it's going to take is going to be for the home page. So here / is for home page, and the elements that I want to render here is going to be our home page. So here we're going to have home page. So close this, and then right here I'm going to import home page from the pages folder. If we head back here, you can see that we have a little let me see. So to probably view this issue, click on inspect, and then you're going to click on console. So on cut error, use routes may be used in the context of the router. So this error is happening because we did not wrap our router around our app. So now to locate the app, you have to main.gsx. This is our app, right? So here you're going to use router. You're basically going to use browser router. So you're going to wrap the app around browser router. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, so now that we wrap our app around it, you can see that our home page is now working perfectly well. So all we need to do now is to style the hero section. So back to the home page. So I'm just going to close this home page, the page, so that we can style our hero section. So before styling, you need to import your CSS file into your JSX file. So I'm starting with you. Copy it and paste it here. The height is going to be set to 100 VH. Now we're starting with this top, the hero top. The hero top displays flex. Padding inline is going to take 100 pixels. and the gap was going to be 20 pixels. Justify content, space between. Now we have the left and right side in this area. So for left, max width will be set to 50%. Margin top will be set to 70 pixels. Okay, so in our left we have H2 tag and H1 tag. We need to style each of them. So here left, the H2 tag in it. The font size is going to take 30 pixels. And the H1 tag as well. The font size is going to take 4.5 rem. Margin top is going to be 10 pixels. What else? We have button in the left section of our arrow. So here left button, we're going to have the margin top here is going to take 70 pixels. The width the margin top is going to take 10 pixels. Sorry, that was a mistake. Okay, so padding to define the width and height. So the height is going to be 1 and the width is going to take 3.5 rem. Border will be set to none. The background, since red is our theme, we're using red as well. And the text color is going to be white. And now this is what we have right now. This is looking all good. Let me compare to this. Okay, we need to set the height. So back to hero right. So for hero right, max width as well is going to take 50%. Now the image, the width of the image will take 640 pixels and the height is going to take 500 pixels. Object fits, contain, and then this is where we are. As you can see, there is no difference. I'm clicking on different tab and there is no difference. This is the first one is localhost 5173, the second one is 5174. So this is looking all good. Now we need to do this section as well. So the bottom section now. So at the bottom section, we're going to create another div tag for hero contents. So in the hero contents, this is going to be 3. We need 3 hero contents. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. So the first one is going to be a div for the information icon. So the info icon. After the icon, we're going to have another div tag for the detail. Okay. Now for the icon, the first one is a shipping icon. So I'm just going to type shipping fast. I want a fast shipping vehicle. So we're using the first icon and I'm going to give it a class name of hero cc icon. Then I'll close this. Now for the detail, let me close this tab so that we can have a bigger screen. Okay. So for the details, we're going to have an H3 tag. First one is going to have free shipping. And then next is a pay tag that will take these texts. Okay, so for the second content, we're going to have the same thing. So let me just copy this, copy, paste. For the third one as well, copy, paste. So I'm just going to change the content and the icon. So this one is going to take 247 support, and the P tag here is going to take this full support and process. For the last one, which is the third one, secure payments, we'll replace secure payments in the H3 tag, and then your payment is secure right here. So now we need to change the icon. So I'll use Ctrl D. These two icons, I need to delete them. So now for the first icon, we're using a support icon. So I'm just going to press support. Our React is going to show me a list of support icons. So I'm using the first one. The class name will also be the same thing. So this is the same class name. Close this. And for the info icon, the third one, this is payments because it's secure payment. So we need an icon that would go with secure payments. So I'm using the first one, and I'm also giving it this same class name. Close this, and this is what we have. So back to our main code. This is what we have. All we need to do is to style it to make it look like this. Okay. Now to my hero.css. First off, the main container is the hero button. So I'll copy this and I'm going to paste it here. Display is going to take flex. Justify content, space between. Margin top is going to take 80 pixels. The width is going to take 80% of the screen. And then we're going to have a padding of 25 pixels. Margin left is going to take 7 rem. And now the border radius is going to take 10 pixels on all sides. So we're going to have box shadow, which is going to take 4 pixels, 11 pixels, 24 pixels with this color codes. Oh, come on, okay. So this color code 196, 196, 196, 0.75. All right. And now we need to style the hero content. So for the hero content, display, flex, gap of 25 pixels. Now what else do we have? We have this hero icon. We're going to start with info icon before we get to hero icon. So info icon, all I want to style is the hero icon CC. So the font size of the icon is going to take 44 pixels and the icon color is going to be red. What else? We have the detail. So for detail, the detail is under our hero content. So the hero content, the detail. So for the detail, we're going to start with the H3 tag. H3. So the font size is going to be 22 pixels. Let me copy this since we're still going to use it for our P tag. The color, we'll take this color code. And then the font size will take 18 pixels. Okay, there is a little, okay. And now this is what we have. This is looking all good and clear, right? So on next, let's see what next. Next thing is our product display. Okay, so I'm going to close the hero.css and hero.jsx. So next thing we need to work on is the product. But before the product, we need the information about the product. We need our product is going to be in form of array of objects. So in our SRC, I'm going to create a file for data.gsx. So this is where we're going to have all of the products. I've already created an array of objects here. I'm going to be linking it in the description box. So that I'm going to be linking my GitHub link for the starter file in the description so I can have access to the product details. Okay, so this is the array of objects. Each of these is an object with a key value here. So we have the ID, we have the images, we have the title of the product, the price, the category, the description, and that is all. And I have imported all of the images right on top so that we can have access to this. Okay, so now that we have data.jsx, then we can now start with our products. But before we get to the product display, this product component is to display the product on our browser. But before we get there, we need to work on our shop context because we're going to use the shop context to store and manage our product state. So basically, the shop context is a context provider that holds and shares data related like products, cart items, etc. across different components in our application. So the shop context acts as a central place to manage and store states. Any component wrapped around the shop context can access and modify the data without having to pass it down as props. So let's start with shop context. So I'm going to start by importing create context hook, use states to manage states, and use effects for side effects. So here we're going to have import React. We're also going to import create context. We're also going to import use states. We're also going to import use effects from React. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do after importing all of that is to create our shop context, and then we're going to create shop context, and then we're going to import the product data from data.gsx. So here we're creating context. Create. Okay, I want to add this as a comment. Create comment context. So on the next line, we're going to create shop context equals create context. Okay, and then we're going to import our shop data. So we're going to import product data from // and we have data here. Right. So this product data right here, this is it. We have it in our data.gsx. It contains an array of objects. That is where we stored all our data that we're going to be using. So the shop context basically is a central place that we're going to it acts as a central place to manage and store states. So there are other components. Whatever component that is wrapped around it will be able to have access to the data without having to pass it down as props. I said that earlier. Next thing we're going to do is to define a context provider component, and I'm going to name it shop context provider. This is going to wrap around the application that needs to access the shop states, and we'll export the shop context provider as well. So let's get to that. Shop context provider. And then we're going to export shop context provider as well. Export default shop context provider. Okay. So within the shop context provider, we're going to return shop context provider that will wrap around the children's states. So here we're going to return shop context dot provider. So it's going to wrap around the children component. Okay, and then we're going to pass value here that other components can have access to. So the next thing we're going to do is to create a state variable to manage products and update products. So I'm going to create a state variable and I'm going to name it product, and I'll create a setter function, name it set products, and the set products is going to update the states, and we're going to use product data as our data. So in the shop context provider, we will now pass the value as props, and the value is going to be product. So let me just show you what I mean. So right here, first off, we need to pass children. Okay, and then here, this is for products. Oh, I want to write a comment. Product states. Okay, I'm creating a state variable. I'm going to name it products, and a setter function set products that will update products. And we're going to set it. We're going to initialize it with product data. So the product data that we got from states is what is going to be our product. And set product is a setter function that is going to be updating the product whenever there's a change. Okay, so for other components to be able to access it, we're going to pass products here. So this is our shop context on product. So we're still going to work more on the shop context. We're going to update it with the cards. For now, we're done for our product. So now we can now display our products. So I'll use refc to create a functional ref tab. Before working on the product, we need to extract our product data from our shop context. Okay, so here we're using use context. So I'm just going to have that here. And then we need to import shop context, because we're going to be extracting data from our product data from shop context. Okay, so here, after this, we're going to extract data from shop context. So to extract our data, we're going to have products. That is what we want to extract from shop context. So here, use context. The context we're using is shop context. All right. So this is done. Now we can now start with the main work. I'm going to create a div file, and I'm going to name it product grid. The product grid. So in the product grid, we're going to map over all our products. So here we're going to do products.map. So we're going to have products and arrow function here. Before our return statements, we need to destructure products. So here, let me just write a comment, destructure products. So to destructure our products, we're destructuring the ID, the image, the title, the price, and we're going to assign this to products. Okay, let me show you our product data. This is our product data, right? We've managed and created the states in our shop context so that we can use it in any other components. That's why we're managing it in shop context is the central place, right? And then now in the products, we have extracted our products from shop context. Here we are mapping. But what we need right now in this section is the ID, the image, the title, and the price. And in the data, we have it here. We have the ID, we have the image, we have the title, and we have the price. Okay. So next thing we need to do now is to return. So in our return, I need to create a div tag and I'll call it the class name of product tag. So we're returning product tags. Okay, let me use div. Okay, so for this div tag, I'm going to give it the class name of product tags. So this is for each of the products, and I'm going to pass a key here. And what is going to be in the key is the identifier, the ID, because that is what we're going to use to identify each of the products. And now, let us see. This is what we're trying to build here. What we have here is an image. We have two icons. We have the title of the product and the price of the product. Okay. So I'm going to create a div tag for our product image. Dot product image. And in the product image, we're going to have our image with the class name of product image. Okay. So here we're going to replace it with image that will be structured here in the product. Remember? Oh, what did I type? Image. Okay. Let me close this so that the screen will look bigger. All right. And now the next thing we need to work on is those two over icons that has the hearts icon and the eye icon, showing that you can view the product detail. So here I'm going to create a class name. I'm going to create a div tag with the class name of over icons. So in the over icons, we have two buttons which contains different icons, right? So we're going to have two buttons. Let me separate each of the buttons. So the first button we have, both buttons will have class name of icon button, right? So here I'm going to use Control Alt to select the two lines, and I'm going to have class name of icon button. Okay, and now for each of the button, so the first button is going to take the cat icon. At the beginning of this tutorial, we installed React icon. So I'm just going to enter cat, and React is going to give me a list of icons that I can choose from. I'm choosing this icon, and I'll give it the class name of main icon. Then I'm going to close this. Now for the second icon, which is going to be the product detail, we are still going to add link later, but let us get the icon first. So we're using the eye icon. So I'm using this icon, and I'm going to give the class name of main icon as well. So we're going to close this, and now we have all of this. So after these two, for the product card, for the product image, sorry, we're going to have another div tag, and it's going to contain the product info. In our product info, we're going to have the title and the price. So the title is, if we're going to create the title with an h3 tag, and I'm going to give you the class name of product name. And the product name is going to take title, and the price, we're creating the price with a div tag with the class name of product price, and this is going to take $sign with the price. Okay, so this is what we have for our products. What did I put here? I'm just going to delete this. All right, so this is what we have in our products, and right here our product is going to be in our home page. So I'm going to open this Explorer tab, come to home page, and then I'm going to mount our product components. in the home page. So if we come back here to view it, we're not going to see anything. The reason is because, let me click on inspect. The reason is because we're going to wrap our app around our shop context. Okay, so we're going to do that in main.jsx. So in our main.jsx, we're going to wrap Ctrl X. We're going to wrap our shop context provider. We're going to wrap it around our app. So once we're done wrapping around, we can now go back and I can see this is looking all good. Let me just cancel this. And we have our product image, these two icons for carts and viewing. We have the title and the price. Okay, so this is all our products right here. Now, the next thing we need to do now is style it to make it look like this. It's not looking all good like this, so we need to style it to make it look like this. So I'm going to close main.jsx. I'm going to close our home page, and then we need to open our CSS, product.css. So we need to import our CSS file into our JSX file, products.css. Then we're going to start with product grid. So we'll copy this and go to our product.css. As the name implies, this is going to display as grid. Display will be grid template column, repeat 1.4 per fraction. Padding is going to be 50 pixels. The gap between each of them is going to be 20 pixels. Column gap is going to take 10 pixels. Justify content center. Next thing is our product card. For the product card, the width of each of the card will be 250 pixels. The border is going to take 1 pixel solid with this color code. And then padding will take 10 pixels. Text align at the center. Position will take relative. Overflow hidden. Transition for the box shadow should be 0.3 seconds is. So when you hover on the card, we need to work on that as well. When you hover on the card, we want our box shadow take 0 pixel, 4 pixel, 12, and this color code. Okay, there's a little error here. Okay, one next. Next thing is our product image. Okay, let me copy it again. So for our product image position, we're going to set it to relative. And then for the image itself, width will be 100% of the product card, and the height is going to take 260 pixels. Transform scale 0.8. But when you hover on it, so let's do for over, transform scale of 1 on the scale of 1. Next thing here is our over icons. Let me close this so that we can see. So I'm just going to copy this over icons back to the CSS. Position is going to take absolute. Before that, let us see what we have. Okay, so this is what we have now. This is looking all. Okay, let's continue with our CSS. Alright, so top is going to take 50% from the top, and from the left 50%. Transform, translate to minus 50%, minus 50%. Display for both icons, we want it to be flat. Gap between the two icons will take 10 pixels. Opacity is going to take 0. And the transition on the opacity, so this is going to be opacity 0.3 seconds is okay. So can you see opacity is 0? We can't see the icons at all. But here, if you hover on it, you're going to see the icon. So if you hover on the product card over for the over icon, that is what we want to work on. If you hover on the product card, we want opacity of the over icons to be 1. So here, if you hover on it, not this, if you hover on it, you can see the icons. Okay. Next thing is the icon button. We need to have the background to be this color code FF444. It's okay. Border will be set to none, definitely. The color of the icon will be white. Padding is going to take 20 pixels. The border radius is going to take 50%. Cursor will definitely be pointer. Display will be flex. Align the item center. Justify contents to the center as well. And then the transition on the background color, 0.3 seconds is okay. And then when you hover on the icon itself, our background color is going to take this color code D63333. Okay, what next? We have the main icon here. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So in the icon button container, we have the main icon, and I'm going to set the font size to 22 pixels. Now we're going to get to the product info. Okay, let me copy it again. Okay. So for product info, margin top is going to take 10 pixels. And then we have the product name. The font size is going to take 20 pixels. The font weight is going to be bold. The margin is going to take 5 pixels. And the margin bottom is going to take 10 pixels. I think the last thing here is our product price. So for our product price, the font size is going to be 20 pixels. The color will be red. And the padding bottom is going to be 15 pixels. So basically, this is what we have. Let's see. Okay, the icon here is white. And the icon here is showing black. So we need to change it. Okay, let us see. The color. Okay, this is supposed to be color. Is white. Okay. Okay, so now we have everything working perfectly well. As you can see, if you are on it, you're going to see the icon to add to carts and to view detail. Okay, so for the product, this icon here, this eye icon is leading us to our product detail, right? So we need to work on that. So in our app GSX, we're going to define the route as well. So the route here, the parts is for products, but we want to view each of the products based on the ID. So this is going to take column ID, and then the elements we're going to pass here is going to be for our products detail. Okay. So here we're going to get our product details. That is what this is going to lead us to. Okay. So now for the product detail here, I'm just going to use IoT to create the shortcut functional React app, and then we're going to head back to, let me close our CSS. Let me close this as well. We're going to head back to this button right here. This button is to lead us to the product detail based on the ID. Okay, so we're going to use the link tag so that it can route us. So when the user clicks on this eye icon, they can view the product detail of each of the products. Okay, so before doing that, we need to import link. So here, I'm going to import link from React Router DOM. Okay, so we have imported link, and then what we need is this eye icon right here. So I'll cut it out, Ctrl X, and then I'm going to use the link tag right here. So within the link tag, I'm going to paste what I just cut back. But we need to define where the link is going to lead us to. So we're going to use the tool to, we want it to lead us to products, and then we're getting the products based on ID. Okay, so here we're going to have the dollar sign, and then we're going to pass product dot id. Okay, so basically this we're not going to use column control D. Let me select this. We're going to use backtick. Okay, so we're going to replace the column with backtick. So after that, we're going to pass the key, and the key is going to be our product dot the ID, because we want to view each of the products using the ID. Okay, I think there's a mistake. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, I still selected everything. Okay, right here we're going to have our key, and the key is going to be products dot ID. Okay, so here we used the link tag to define where we want our link to lead us to. We want to view products, but we want to view it based on ID. That's why we're passing key here for product.id. Okay, so we needed something now have the GSX. We passed the elements here, but we're yet to import the components, the product detail components. So please always have that in mind. Product detail. Okay. So now let us test if this is working. If you click on this icon, it's going to lead you to product detail, right? If you click on this icon, it's going to lead you to product detail. We are yet to write any code in our product detail. So we have no detail basically in the product detail. So that is why we're only saying product detail, product detail. So this is working. Before we get to the detail itself, we need to be able to add our item to this cart right here. So we're going to work on the add to cart functionality. Okay, I said earlier that our shop context is the context provider that holds and share data related like product, cart item across different components in the application. So we're going to be using our shop context to our shop context is what we're going to be creating our cart functionality basically. Okay, so let us get to that now. So I'm going to open my shop context now so that we can start working on our add to cart. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'll start by creating a state variable to manage the cart. I'll create a state variable and I'm going to name it cart and a setter function which I'm going to name set cart, and I'm going to initialize the cart state as an empty string. So let's do that. Here we're going to have cart state. I'm going to create a state variable, name it cart, setter function set cart, and I'm going to initialize it with an empty array. Okay. Also, I'm going to create another variable, another state variable that will manage the quantity of item in our cart. So the quantity of item is the amount of item that will be in the cart. So I'll create a variable, I'll name it item amount, and a setter function set item amount, and I'm going to initialize that with 0. So here for the quantity, I'm going to name this item amount, setter function set item amount, and I'll initialize this with 0. Also, I'm going to create another state variable for the total price. This total price is going to track the total price of the item in our cart. So after we have added several items to cart, the state variable that I'm going to create is what will be in charge of tracking the total price of the item. So here, I'm creating a state variable. I'll give you the class a name of total and a setter function of set total. And this here, use state, I'm going to initialize this with 0. So we can now start with the functionality of our cart. First off, we're going to start with adding to cart. We need to create a function that is going to undo adding an item to cart. So what I'm going to do now, let me write a comment here. Function to add to cart. So I'm going to start by creating, I'll name the function add to cart, and it's going to take two parameters, product and ID, because we're adding each product based on the ID. Okay, so let me use here, we're going to have add to cart, that is the name of the function, and it's going to take two parameters, product, ID. So in our function, we're going to create a new object, and I'm going to name it new item. In the new object, we'll use the spread operator to create a shallow copy of the product object, meaning that we'll copy all the key value pairs that we have in our product. Then I'm going to add a new property called amount and give it an initial value of 1. Let me show you what I mean. So right here, I'm creating a new object. Okay. So I'll use the spread operator, product, and I'll initialize our amount by 1. So as I explained earlier, what I basically did was that in our add to cart function, I created a new object and I named it new object. And this new object, I used the spread operator to create a shallow copy of the product object, meaning that we're copying all the key value pairs of our products. Then I added a new property called amount and I gave it an initial value of 1. And the next thing I'm going to do is to check if an item already exists in the cart based on the unique value. So I'm going to create a variable and I'm going to name a cart item, which is going to store the logic we're about to write. So I'm going to name the variable cart item. So here, what this variable is going to store is this. We will use the find method to look through every item in the cart and look for the one where the ID matches. If we find the match, then we're going to return the item. So basically, if we find any product in the cart that matches with the product that we want to add to the cart item, the cart item will store that item. That means that if we have an existing product in our cart and we want to add another product which is the same thing as the ID of that product that exists in our cart, the cart item is going to store the item. Okay, so here we're using the find method. What I want to do is look through every item that we can have in the cart and we're going to return item, the existing item in our ID that matches the new item that we're about to add. Okay, and now another thing we need to do is that we need to write the code that will do two things for us. First, to check if the item is already in the cart, and also to increase the quantity of that item in the cart. Okay, and secondly, so the first thing the code that we're about to write now is going to do is that it's going to check if the item already exists in the cart, it will increase the quantity of that item. And the second thing that this code that we're also about to write is going to do is that if the item is not in the cart, it's going to add new item to the cart. So after this one here that is checking if the item is in the cart, we're going to write the logic down. So here I'm using an if statement to check if cart item, that means if any item is in the cart, I'm going to create new carts. I'm going to explain this very soon. New carts, and then I'm going to use the spread operator to create a shallow copy of our cart item, and I'm going to map over all the items in the carts. Then we're going to use an if statement as well to check if the item that is in the cart based on the ID matches with the new item that we want to add to the cart. And then if it does, we're going to return a shallow copy of the item, the amount of the item, and we're going to get the amount of the item by the cart item, which is what we added in the cart, plus 1. That means we are increasing the quantity by 1 if the item already exists in the cart. If the new item, which is this side, if the new item based on ID is present in our cart item, okay, if the new item that we're about to add is already inside our cart item, then we're going to create a shallow copy of the item, and also we're going to return the amount, which is the cart item dot amount plus 1. We're increasing the amount, the quantity by 1. Amount here is basically for quantity. So, and then we're going to have another statement. So if otherwise, we should return the item. Okay, and then we're going to set our cart to the new cart. The set cart is the setter function, right? So we're setting this cart here to the new cart that we just got down. Okay. So for the logic behind this is also going to have an otherwise statement. So we're going to use an else statement as well. So basically, what I highlighted here, let me just explain it. The code is doing two things for us. The first thing it's going to check is that if the item already exists in our cart, we're going to increase the quantity of that item. And secondly, if it is not in the cart, we're going to add a new item to our cart. So now we're going to have an else statement, else, set cart to shallow copy of the cart and new item. Okay, so this is the logic to add to carts. So we're done with adding items to carts. What this else statement is doing is that if the item is not in the cart, if it does not already exist in the cart, we'll simply add new item to the cart by creating a new array and we're going to include the existing cart item plus the new one. Okay, this is for the existing cart item and this is the new one. We're using the setter function to update our cart if the item does not already exist in our cart. Okay, so the next logic we're going to work on now is getting our total price. Okay, we need to create a functionality that's going to get the total price of all the items in our shopping cart and also automatically recalculate the total price whenever the cart changes. So here we're going to use a use effect hook to calculate the total price and recalculate whenever an item is added, removed, or its quantity is increased or decreased. So we're using the use effect hook. So this is function to get the total price. Alright, so we're using use effects. Okay, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, we're going to have this. Okay, so that is that. Now I'm going to create a variable and I'm going to name it total. And the variable is going to hold cart.reduce. We're using the reduce method because we're going to use it to go through each item in the cart and we're going to accumulate the total price. And this method is going to take two arguments, accumulator and current item. Let me write out the code so that you're going to see it. I'm creating a variable total. Okay, we're going to use the reduce method so that we can go through each of the item in the cart. This is going to take accumulator and also is going to take current item. Okay, so it's taking two arguments, accumulator and current item. But I'm going to create another variable that will store the conversion of the current item price to a floating point number. I'm doing this because prices are sometimes stored as string, so we need to convert it to floating point number. So I'm going to create a variable that is going to hold that logic as well. So I'm going to name it price as number because what we want to do is convert it to number, to convert our price to number, just in case if it is not stored as a number. So this is going to have current, not caps lock, current item dot price. That's what we're converting to floating point number. And now the next thing we need to check is for validity. We need to check if the price is valid. So I'm going to use an if statement to check if the price is not a number. Then we're going to return the accumulator. And if it is a number, we'll multiply the price by the quantity, which is the amount that I said earlier, which is the amount of the item. And then we're going to add it to the running total, which is the accumulator. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm using an if statement to check if the price is not a number, is man. That's what you're going to use. So we're going to have price as a number. That's what we want to check. If it is not a number, we want to return accumulator. Okay. But if it is a number, we're going to return the running total, which is the accumulator, plus price as number multiplied by the current item dot amount. And here we're going to set the quantity, which is the amount, to 0. Okay. And then we're going to update our total by using the set total. So here we're going to have set total. And then here we're going to pass cards as a dependency array. So for every time our cart changes, the use effect is going to run again. That means the total price will automatically recalculate for every time the cart changes. We're going to keep running a new total price if an item is added, if an item is removed, if an item is increased, if an item is decreased. Okay. And now the next thing we need to work on is to create a function that will calculate the total number of items that we have in our cart. All we've done so far is that we've created a function that is going to undo adding item to cart. We've created another function that will undo getting total price. The next thing we need to do is to create a function that will calculate the total number of items in our cart, and that is going to be our quantity. So I'm going to use the use effect hook to execute the function. So this function will run every time the cart changes. That means we're going to pass the cart as well as the dependency array. So let's get to it. So let me write a comment here. So this function is to calculate the quantity of item in our cart. Okay, so I'm using use effects hook. Use effects. First, we need to use the if statement to check if there is any item at all in our cart. So in the if block, we're going to create a state variable for our amount, and that is going to store the logic that we're about to write. So let me use if statement. We want to check if there's any item at all in our cart. Then I'm going to create a variable, name it amount, and this is going to store this logic. So we're going to use cart.reduce, where the reduce method is going to look through each item in our cart, and it is going to calculate the total number of items, which is the same thing as called the quantity. And we're going to add each item quantity to the running total. Okay, so here we're using the reduce to look through each item in the cart. Okay, so that we can calculate the total number of items. So reduce. So here we're going to have accumulator and current item. Okay, and it is going to return accumulator plus current item dot amount. And right here, our amount will be set to 0. And then we're going to use the setter function, set item amount, to update our amount. And then here we're going to pass cart as the dependency array, so that every time the cart changes, this function would rerun again, so automatically recalculates. So basically, what I did was that I used the use effect hook. I used the if statement to check if there's any item in our cart. Then the if block, we use that to create a variable amount that will store cart.reduce, where the reduce method will look through each item in the cart and calculate the total number of items, which is the same as quantity. So we added each item quantity, which is current item dot amount, to the running total. And then I use the setter function, set item amount, to update the item amount to reflect the total number of items. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do now is to create a function that will handle removing items from our cart based on ID. So I'm going to name the function remove from cart, and it's going to take one parameter. It's going to take ID as the parameter. So let me create the function now. I'm going to write a comment function to remove from cart based on ID. Okay, so this is the function const. The name of the function is going to be removed from cart, and it's taking ID as parameter. So inside the function logic, I'm going to create a variable, and I'm going to name it new cart, which is going to store the filter method, sorry. And the filter method is basically going to filter the item in the cart and keep only item where the ID is not equal to the ID of the item we want to remove. Okay, so I'm creating a new variable. I'm going to name it new cart, and this is going to store the filter method cart.filter. We want to filter all of the items, and then we're going to keep. So here we're returning item based on ID that we already have in our cart that is not equal to the new item that we want to remove. Okay, so we're returning item that is not equal to the particular item that we want to remove from our cart after filtering the cart. And then we are going to update our cart with the new cart. So set cart with new cart. Okay, so this is a very, very simple process. And the next step we're going to take is to create a simple function that would empty our cart. Okay, so here I'm going to write the comment is going to be clear cart. So this function, I'm going to name it clear cart. It's not taking any parameter. So we're just going to set our carts. We're going to update our carts with an empty array. Okay, so that means that nothing will be in the cart when we use this function. Okay. The next step now is to create a function to increase the quantity of a specific item. We need to, when your user is shopping, when you're building a website, a shopping website, an e-commerce website to be precise, the user can decide to increase a particular item that they have added to the cart. Okay, so we need to work on that function that is going to undo increasing the quantity of a particular item. So we're using the ID. Our ID is the unique identifier. We're using the ID to increase it. So I'm going to name the function increase amount, and it's going to take a simple parameter which is ID. Okay, let me write the comment here. Function to increase amount. Okay, I'm going to name the function increase amount, and we're increasing the amount of the item by the ID because we want to increase specific items. So we can only choose specific item using the ID. That is what we're using in this scenario. So I'm creating another variable for cart item, and we're going to use the find method. So we want to find the item, and then we're going to return the item that already have in our cart based on the ID. So that matches the item that we want to increase. Okay, and then we're going to call the add to cart function. So it's going to add the new item based on ID. Let me explain what I did. I created a function and I named it increase amount. It's going to take a single parameter, which is ID. The next thing I did was to create a variable and I named it cart item. And it's going to undo searching through the cart array and it's going to find, so the variable cart item is going to undo searching through the cart array and it's going to find the item that has the matching ID. So once the item is found, the function calls another function, which is add to cart, and it's going to add the new item to the cart based on the ID. So basically, the add to cart is going to take the cart item and the ID because we are increasing the quantity of the item. So it's going to increase the quantity of the item by adding another unit of that same item. And now we can now head to decrease amount so that our user can decrease quantity if they've added more than enough, like what they want. They should be able to increase and decrease quantity. So I'm going to name this decrease amount, and I'm going to pass ID as a parameter because I want to decrease the amount, which is same thing as quantity of the item, by the parameter. So I'm creating another variable, cart item, and then we're going to use the find method as well to find the item so that we can return item that matches with the item that we have in our cart. Okay. So if the item is found, the new cart is going to store this logic. Let me type this. So I'm using an if statement. If cart item, by if statement, we're going to have the new cart, which is going to store this logic. We're basically going to map through all the items in the new cart array. So for the item with matching ID, we're going to return a new object with the same property by using a spread operator to create a shallow copy, but we're going to reduce the amount by 1. So what I'm trying to say is that we're mapping through item, so cart.map, we're mapping through all of the items in our cart. So I'm going to use an if statement to check if the item in the cart matches with the item that we want to reduce. We're going to return an object that will store the property of the same property. We're going to return a new object with the same property. And then we're going to reduce the amount, that is the same thing as the quantity, of the cart item dot amount, amount, by 1. Okay. And then for just in case if otherwise, so else statement, we're going to return the item. Okay, and then after all of this, we need to set our carts with the new carts. So we're going to update our carts with new carts. Okay, and here we're going to have a very important else statement. And the else statement is that we need to check if the item reduces, if after reducing the item goes below 1, we need to remove the entire item from our cart. So here we need to have if cart item dot amount should go below 1, that is less than 2, we're going to call the remove from cart function, and then we're going to remove the item based on the item. So basically, this is our cart. We have worked on the add to cart, we have worked on getting total price, we have worked on calculating the quantity of items in our cart, we have worked on removing items from carts, we have worked on clearing the cart, increasing and decreasing the amount of items we have in our carts. Okay, now the next thing we need to do for each of these functions, we need to be able to use it in other components. Okay, so we're going to pass all the states, the necessary states that we want to use outside in other components in the Bible. So here we need carts. This is supposed to be carts. We need add to carts. We need remove from carts. We need the clear cart function. We need the increase amount. We need the decrease amount as well. These are functions and states that we're going to be making use of. We need the item amount itself. We need the total as well. Okay. So this is everything about adding to carts. The next thing we need to do is to create our cart page. Okay, so we're going to create this shop context and the product detail and product. Then I'm going to open my cart component. So for the cart, we're going to have our cart detail and our cart page itself. So in the cart component, I'm going to create another file for cart detail. There's GSX. Okay, we're going to get to that very soon. First, we're going to start with our cart page. REFC to create a functional React app, and then we need to, we've worked on the functionality for our shop context, right? So for our cart page now, we need to extract some functions and some states that we've managed in our context. Okay, so let me import shop context first off. Here I'm going to have use contexts, and then I'm going to import shop contexts. Okay, so after importing, we need to extract all the data that I said earlier. So we need to extract our cart states. We need to extract clear cart, the function to clear cart, the total states, and then we also need the item amount. That is the quantity. So here the context that we're using is context. Okay, we need an equal sign here. Okay, so the context we are using is shop context. Let me close this up so that we can have the letter space on the screen. Now we can now start our main code. So I'm going to create a div tag and I'm going to give you the class name of cards container. Okay, so in the cards container we have the left and the right section. So cards left, a div tag for the left side, and another div tag for the right side. So in the left part, we're going to start with that. In the left section of our cart, we're going to have our cart header. Okay, we're going to have two carts header basically. So the first header, Ctrl Z, sorry, I was going to press enter. So the first cart header is going to take the title, shopping cart, and then we're going to have the item amount, Ctrl Z, here, H1 type, and it's going to take, okay, I think I just need to change this to quantity. So the quantity is going to take the item amount. Remember that we extracted it from our shop context earlier on. And then next thing we need to get is the icon to clear the entire cart. So I'll just enter trash. We want to trash our cart, TRASH. So React is going to suggest different trash icons, and I'm going to give this a class name of delete carts. So we're going to close this. One thing about this icon is that we want the situation where our user clicks on the icon, the entire cart is going to be dead. So we're going to use an unpick function, and we're going to pass clear cart to this icon. So that's the first header. For the second header, that is where we're going to have our product description, quantity, price, and total. So I'm going to use 4 span tags. The first one is going to take product description. The second one is going to take quantity. The third one is going to take price, and then the very last one is going to take total price. So I'm just going to abbreviate it as total. So after the headers, we're going to have our product detail. Remember that we created another component for product detail, but here we need to map our product. So cart detail, sorry, I was going to say cart detail, not product detail. So here we want to check, first off, we need to check the length of our cart. Okay, length. If we have 0 items in our cart, if we have items that are greater than 0 in our cart, then we are going to map. But if we don't, this is for the otherwise. Okay, I'm going to explain this now. So here, if our item is greater than 0 for this cart item, we want to map our cart map the entire. We want to map over the items, and here we're going to pass the cart details, and then we pass item as props, and the key that we're going to pass as well is going to be item.id, and then we'll close this component. So if otherwise, we use the binary operator here. I hope you know that. So if otherwise, we're using a paragraph tag to display that, come on, key tag to display that your cart is empty. This cart detail was not imported, okay? Maybe because you have nothing here. So let me just create IRC. This is a shortcut, and then I come back here to actually import cart detail from cart details. Okay, so okay, this is supposed to be detail, not details. Okay, so we have it like this. This is our cart. This is total, not length. Let's see. Okay, so we're done with the left section. Now we need to move to the right section. The right section is basically the cart summary. So page total, cart summary. I'm going to create a div tag for our summary item. Dot summary item. Here we're going to have 2 span tags. The first one is going to take items, or better still, let's take quantity. And then the second span tag is the quantity amount. So that's item amount. That is for the first div tag. And then the second div tag is going to take cart summary. So in our cart summary, we're going to have another div tag. We're going to have 3 different div tags, and it's going to have the same class name, summary item. Okay, so the summary item multiplied by 3. So the first summary item is going to take 2 span tags. Span times 2. The first one is going to take subtotal. The second one is going to take the subtotal amount. Do we need subtotal since we're going to get our total? I don't know if we should include that, but let me just include it. Okay, so we have our dollar sign. I will need to check if the total is not a number. If it is not a number, it should just display 0. If it is not a number, if total is not a number, that's what we're doing here. I'm using a ternary operator, it should display 0. But if it is a number, it should display the total. Okay. And then for the second summary item, that is where we're going to have shipping. So span 2, here shipping, SHIPPING. This is going to be free. And then for the last summary item, that's where we're going to have our total costs. First one is going to be total costs. And for the second one, we need to check, because we're dealing with number, we're going to do the same thing. If the total is not a number, total is not a number, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to display 0. But if it is a number, it should display the total. And then we need to have a button and give it the class name on checkout button. That's basically where the user is going to check out. So here we're going to have checkouts. So this is our entire cart page. And now we need to work on our cart details. In our cart detail, we are going to be needing 3 functions from our shop context. We're going to use the remove from cart, increase amounts, and decrease amounts. So we're going to need the increase amount function from our shop context. We're going to need the remove from cart, increase quantity, which is increase amount, and decrease amount. So let me import caps lock. This is import shop context from our context, and then right here, and this is going to take item. Okay, so right here is where the extraction is going to come in. Let me comment extract relevant function needed for from shop context. Okay, so here const remove from cart. We need remove from cart function. We need the increase amount function to increase quantity, and we need the decrease amount function. And the context we're using is shop context. Okay. So after this, remember that we passed item earlier as props. We need to destructure item. So here we're going to have ID, title, image, price, amount, and all is going to be equal to our item. And now for what we're going to be seeing on the screen, I'm going to create a div tag. I'm going to give it the class name of cart item. So the first div tag is going to be for the product detail. So for product details, we need the image. So here we're going to get the image, and then we need the product info. So for product info, like the title, so I'm getting a div tag for product info. So here we're going to use an h3 tag, and here we're going to pass the title. So in our product info as well, I'm going to create a div tag for the cart item remove, like to remove a particular product from cart. So cart item remove, and this is going to take the trash icon. Okay, so I'm selecting the second trash icon. Okay, so after our product detail, we need the quantity. So we need like a container for increasing and decreasing quantity. But before that, this trash icon, we should have an on-click function, because what we want is that when our user clicks on the icon, they should be able to remove item, like a particular item. So I'll use on-click. So we're calling the remove from cart function that we have extracted from our short context. Okay, so that is that. Next thing is the quantity that I said just now. So we're going to have a div tag and we're going to name it quantity. So for quantity, we're going to have two buttons, the increment and the decrement, right? So here we're going to have button multiplied by 2. Okay, this is the first and the second button. But between each of the button, we need to display the amount. That is the particular quantity. So here we're going to have amount. Okay, so we have displayed the amount. Now for each of the button, the first one will be to remove. So just type in remove because we have installed React icon. React is going to suggest list of icons for us. I'm going to use this. This is for the remove, and this other button is to add. So I'm using the MD add. So MD, so it will just be faster for me. MD add. Let's see. IOMD add. Okay. So now we need, what we want is that when our user clicks on this remove, we want to decrease the quantity. So here we're going to call the decrease function. So this is going to be decrease amount based on ID. And for the second one, if you click on add, if your user clicks on this icon, you want to increase the amount. Here we're going to have increase amount based on ID as well. Okay, so after the quantity container, we need our price, the item price. So here, let me just write the comment item price because we're also going to have total price so that we can differentiate. So I'm creating a div tag with the class name of price, and we're just going to have $sign with price. Okay, now next thing is the total price. This is the comment here, and a div tag with the class name of total. Okay, so this is going to take, I'm going to use backtick here because we need to convert the price to float just in case there is any issue. So price, to get the total price, we need to multiply the actual price by the amount, which is the quantity. And we want it to be in 2 decimal places. So to fixed to 2 decimal places. Okay, so this is our cut detail right here. Looking all good and clear. This is our cut page right here. Looking all good and clear as well. Now to test if all of this logic that was written is actually working, we need to be able to add a product to carts. So I'm going to open the product component. Earlier on, we extracted just product from our short context because that was the only thing we needed. Now we need to extract the add to carts function from our short context as well. Okay, so this icon right here, this cart icon that is here, the job of the cart icon is to be able to add a product to carts. So here we're going to have an on-click function, and then we're going to call our add to carts function that we just extracted. So add to carts. Remember that we're adding carts to carts based, we're adding products based on ID. So we're going to pass product and ID. So we're done with this. Now our navigation bar as well. Here, this carts menu, we need to make sure that this carts, let me just say this cart container is leading us to our cart page. Okay, and also we want to reflect the quantity, the cart quantity in this site, this cart amounts area. So I'm just going to do Ctrl X, I'm going to cut, and then we use the link tag, and I'm going to paste what I just cut between the link. Let's see, link is not imported, so I'm going to import link from React add-on, and then I'm going to go back here. So the page we want to link to is our cart page. So here the /cart. That is what we want to link to. In our app.jsx, we are yet to route it in our app.jsx. So I'm going to come here. We're going to have routes. The path we want to take is to our cart, and then the element is to our cart page itself. So here, the cart page, and then we close. Right here, we're going to import carts from our cart. Okay, so we are now by area. So remember that this two link must be the same as the carts. Okay, so right now on the page, if we click on this icon, we're going to see our cart page. Okay, and then if I add an object, if I add an item, we should see it in our carts. Okay, but right now our item quantity is not reflecting in the icon, so we need to change that. So that means that we need to extract our item amount, which is the same thing as the quantity, from our shop context. So first off, we need to import shop context. Okay, and here we're going to extract item amount, use context. The context we are using is shop context. Okay, so we need item amount, which is also the same as the quantity. So I'm going to replace the 0 with our item amount. So if we add an item, it's going to be reflected in our icon. If we add another item, we're going to see that it's reflected. So here we have two items that we're added. It's looking like this because we're going to style it. So once we style it, we're going to see how fine it can get. So let us style it. So I'm going to close product.css and navbar.css. Then I'll open cat for CSS. I'm styling cat. So here I'm going to import cat.css. So we're starting with cat container. So I'll paste this. Display is going to be flex. Justify content, space between, padding of 20 pixels. So for the left cat, the width, we want it to take 65% of the entire width. And the background color is going to be white. Padding is going to be 20 pixels. And then the border radius is going to take 10 pixels. For the right hand side, the width is going to take 30%. The background color is going to take this color code. Padding 20 pixels, border radius 10 pixels. Okay. Now we're back to the left. For the cat header, display is going to be flex. Justify content, space between, margin top of 20 pixels, and the font width that will say bold. Okay. And then in this cat header, we have the width cat right here. So we need to style this width cat as well. So the font size is going to be 20. Let's make it 23 pixels. And then we have, for this second cat header, we have several span types. Okay. So we need to style that as well. So for cat header span type, the font size will be 20 pixels, margin left to be 90 pixels. Okay. So next thing here is going to be our cat detail. So this is the cat detail component right here. So let us style the cat detail component directly. Oh, come on. Let's see. Copy it again. So the space is going to be flex. So small content space between align item center, margin top of 20 pixels, padding of 10 pixels away, and border bottom of 1 pixel solid with this color code. And then we're going to have product details. The space is going to be flex. Just 5 content to the space between align item center and max width of 50%. We have an image here. So for product detail image, we're going to set the width to 60 pixels, the height to be 60 pixels, margin right to be 20 pixels. Next thing is our product info. So for the product info, we have an H3 tag and we have a P tag as well. So I'm going to come here, paste this. So for the H3 tag, the margin will be 0. We're going to set font size to 18 pixels. And then for the p type, the paragraph type, the color is going to take this color code, and the margin is going to take 5 pixels 0. Also, we have quantity here. Okay, so by quantity, display reflects around item in the center. And then we have two different buttons for the quantity. So we're going to style each of the buttons. So for quantity, the buttons, we're going to have the width each of the buttons as 30 pixels, height to be 30 pixels. The background color will be this color code. Border none, cursor pointer, display flex, align item center, specify content center, and the font size of each of the buttons will be 18 pixels. What else do we have? We have a span type in the quantity. So I'm going to copy this. So dot quantity span margin is going to take 0 pixel 10 pixels. Also, we have price and total. So we're just going to style those two at once. Dot price dot total. So the font size is going to take 16 pixels, and the color is going to take this color code. Okay, this is supposed to be total with 1T. Now that we're done with our cat detail, we can move back to our cat, and then we can start styling the right side of our cat. So for cat right, the H2 tag for cat right, that is the first thing we're going to style. So here, cat right H2, the font size is going to take 24 pixels, and the margin bottom is going to take 20 pixels. H2 tag. Okay, I omitted this. What else do we have in our cart? We have summary item. Okay, so for summary item, the display is going to be flex. Specify content space between and margin bottom of 10 pixels. So what else do we have after summary item? We need to make our total cost bolder than every other price. So here for our total costs. So for the summary item, dot total costs, our font width should be bold, and then our font size is going to be 18 pixels. 18 pixels. Font size 18 pixels. Okay, and then we have, last but not least, our checkout button. So here, the checkout button, the width is going to be 100%. The background color will be this color code. The text color will be white. Padding will be 15 pixels. Border radius will be down. Cursor will be pointer. And the margin top is going to take 20 pixels. So let us see what we've designed so far. And then this is what we have. This is working. As you can see, the quantity is changing. Everything is looking alright. The total is working. If I increase this by 2, 130 times 2 is 260. So our quantity is 6. We have 6 items in our cart because we have 4 items here and 2 items here. So total is 780. Shipping is free. You can add your own shipping price and calculate shipping price. Total cost is 780, and this is the checkout button. Okay, so everything about this page is working perfectly well. So the next step now is our product detail. So when the user clicks on that eye icon, you should be able to see the detail of the product. So let's go to that. So I'm going to close my cart.css, cart.gsx, everything relating to carts. Close the components, and now we're moving to pages. So I'm supposed to click on the product page. Alright, first thing we need to do is to import params. So I'm going to import use params from React Router DOM. And then we need our product data. So I'm going to import product data as well from our data. We're going to need our add to cart function because we want to be able to add directly to cart from when we are viewing the product detail. So I'm going to import short context. Okay. And then from our short context, we need to extract our add to cart function. So here use context. It's going to take short context. We're using it from short context. Okay. And now the very next step is to review each of the products via their ID. So we need to get the ID of the product using use params. Const ID equals use params. And now we need to find the ID of each product from our product data. Okay, so here const product, the product is going to store the ID of the product that we're looking for in product data. So in product data, product data, we're going to use the find method to get each of our products, and then we're going to return each product based on their ID that matches with this new product that we're looking for. So I'm going to change this to an integer just in case the product ID are stored as string. So that's that. And then what I want to see on our screen, we're going to have it here in our return. So I'm creating a div tag. I'll give it a class name of product details. So in our product detail, we have the letter direct section. So I'm just going to have detail left, and then detail right. So for the left section, what we want to display is image. So here we're going to have product image. Okay. And then on the right hand side, we want to display the title of the product. So here we're going to have product title. We also want to display the price of the product. So we're using a repeat tag with the class name of product price. And then here we start with the dollar sign. So product dot price. Also, we want to display the description. So this is going to be p dot description, just the short form. So we're going to have product dot description, and then we are going to make use of the button, which is going to add to carts. So add to carts. In order for us to add to carts using this button, we need to be able to click on the button. So what we're going to do is call an on-click function, and then we're going to call our add to cart functionality that we extracted from our short context. So we are adding each product based on ID. So this is it. So if we view it and see if it's working, if we click on this ID, this is the image, this is everything I've just built. So let's us type. So I'm going to open product details. Okay, I'm here to create the file. So here we're going to have product details.css, and then right here I'm going to import the CSS file, product details.css, into our CSS file, and I'm going to start with this div tag for product details. So for product details, display flex padding of 80 pixels. I'm going to start with the left. So okay, there's a little mistake here. I don't know if anyone can recommend a very good mouse. My mouse is not mousing. So for the image, the width is going to be 460 pixels. And now to the right side, padding is going to take 70 pixels. We have an H3 tag on the right side, right, for the title. So we're going to set the font size of that to 30 pixels. And also we have product price. So for details rights, product price, the font size is going to take 22 pixels. The color will definitely be red. And then margin top will be 10 pixels. Now we have description as well for these details, right? DESC, that's the short acronym again. So the font size is going to be 20 pixels. The color will be this color code, and then margin top of this as well, 10 pixels. Now we have a button as well, details right button. So the padding is going to take 1 rem as the height and 3.6 rem as the width. Margin top 10 pixels. Border will be none, background color red, and like that. So this is our product detail image. You can add items to carts directly from the product detail image. So let's see what next do we need here. Our about page. This is a very basic about page. This is a very, very basic contact page as well. So I'm just going to close every other page that is open, and then we can now continue. So I'm now with all the components except for the footer. Let's start with about page. REFC to create a functional React app. And then our app.js, we need to route this about page as well. So here, routes the path that we want to take is about, and the elements is going to the element we're going to render is our about page. And then close this here. I'm going to import about. Okay, we're also going to do for contact page as well. So route path contact elements contacts. Don't forget to always close your tag and also import here. And then I'm going to import contacts from pages, contacts. Okay. So now in our about page, we're creating a very, very basic about page. So we're just going to have one div tag, and I'm going to give the class name of about. So in the about page, we're going to have an h2 tag about us. We're going to have a p tag, and it's going to take this value right here. Let me align everything. Okay. Okay, so this is our p tag, and then we're going to have our h3 tag as well for the nation, and then we're going to have another p tag that is going to take this as well. So the about page is a very, very basic about page. Guys, do not forget to like and subscribe if you've learned it. Don't forget to drop a comment as well. So this is for about, and then in our components, we're going to view our about page from our navbar. If you click on the about here, if you click on this about, it should take you to the about page. So the home page, the home should take you to home page. So I'm going to use the link tag from React Router DOM. Okay, and then here I'm pasting home. So this is going to lead us to the home page. / represents the home page. And for this other one, for the about, I've created a link tag already. So this list item is going to be in between the link tag. And this one should lead us to our about page. Do not forget, the word that will be in the tool should be the same thing as what will be in your paths. Okay, sorry, that's a mistake. And now for the contact as well, we're using link tag too. So the contact, I'm cutting it and I'm going to paste it here. So to / contact. Okay, so when the user clicks on the about, contact, and home, it's going to route to home or about or contact, whichever one it is respectively. So this is our contact. So we need to start this, reach the tag, the key tag. So let's create about CSS. Okay, we have that already. I'm just going to import the / about.css. So in our CSS, this is what we're going to have in our CSS. For the about container itself, for setting the pattern to 30 pixels, For the H2 tag in the about, the font size 46 pixel, margin button 15, background color is red, color white, padding 30 pixel, text align in the center, and the P tag in our about, we're setting the font size to 20 pixel, text align to center, about, margin top, margin button, font size, and all of that. So this is the CSS for our about page. Now I'm going to close the page, and then we can now work on the contact page. So for the contact REFC, which is a shortcut to create a functional React app. So for this contact, this is also going to be very basic. I'm going to create a div tag for contact. We're going to have an H2 tag, and it's going to say need help. Then I'm going to create a div tag for contacts container. Okay, we're going to have two sides, the left and the right side. Contacts left, and then we're going to have contacts right. So for the left section, we're going to have this text. Oh, come on. Okay, we're going to have another P tag as well. It's going to take this for inquiry, and then on the right hand side is where we're going to have the image. Here in the contact rights, we're going to have our image. We're here to import the image. So contact.jpg is the name of the image that we're using. Import contacts img from our asset folder, and the name of the image is contact.jpg. Okay, so let's copy this, and then right here paste this contact image, and then we need to style it as well. Before styling, we're going to import the CSS file into the JSX file. So this is the CSS that we're going to be using. The contact container itself, padding with the 30 pixels, the H2 tag in the contacts, padding 30 pixels, background of red, text align center, font size of 40 pixels, color white. So for the contact container, display reflects that with 20 pixels, margin for 20, contact left, max width 50%, padding 80 pixels, and all of that. So okay, so now on the browser, you can see it's showing that we've turned all of this to a link. This is our about, this is our contact. Okay, so we need to make sure that the link does not have any text decoration or any of that. So I'm going to close this. Now index.css, so I will not be styling it one after the other. We should just do it in index.css. The link tag, text decoration will be set to none. The color of the text will be set to black. Let's see. Okay, so everything is looking all okay. The last thing we need to work on is our footer. Our footer is going to be a very basic footer. We can decide to, this is the footer that we're using. So we have the footer container itself, and then we have the footer content and the footer copy. Okay, so in the footer content, we have the footer name and the footer social, and then the footer copy, we have this copyright here. Now for the CSS, this is all we're going to have as the CSS. For the footer, background, the hash, all of this is going to be the footer. So in my app.jsx, I need to, after my route, I need to mount my footer components. Okay,